How you doing, man?
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, I'm doing quite well. I was just catching up. I noticed there was a
5
Reddit
seconds
thread on
remaining.
his Invoker play, Comanche from ILTW.
Oh,
So
yeah.
shout out to that guy. It's nice to see a little bit of love.
Reserve time.
Some of those bad boys. I didn't actually watch the clip, but that's good. You know, get a little bit of love there. So we're doing great work here today, obviously.
Oh, completely.
If the players are getting recognized and noticed by our dear Redditors.
You know,
the lifeblood of Dota 2.
I think that it's pretty, like, it's hard to break through that for the tier 2 like players, and you know, one instance of that, suddenly you start recognizing a name, he shows up and starts streaming, you can build a little bit more of a base. So would love to see some more love for the tier 2 Dota 2 scene, because they deserve it. They're good players, and all these guys are good players as well. I don't know if I'm not sure exactly where I would categorize Friends and Team Empire right now. The swings going back and forth between them, it feels like tier 2, but they're sort of competing in tier 1 event, and they can take games off of tier 1 teams. What are your thoughts on them, where they stand?
I think everyone's just, you know, there's some clear-cut tier 1s, and then there's just this giant pool.
Yeah.
And they're somewhere in that pool right
10
now.
seconds
I'm not sure if they're
remaining.
2, 2.5, 3, 4. I don't know. How far does it go? 5, 6. We're like at
seconds
7,
remaining.
I think.
Oh no, much
The
higher. number
casters
than
are
that.
just dumpstered, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
The Afterlife Nyx for this game, though, it's gone. No more Nyx. Nyx has been nixed, and instead it's likely going to be an Afterlife Sand King here on the off lane. And Team Empire will get a
Dire
lovely
team
starting
battle.
combination of Slardar and Shadow Demon. And wow, a Luna band.
Radiant team.
So
battle.
strange.
That makes sense to me. I may be a simple man. I may not have all of the insider knowledge, but when I see a Shadow Demon, I ban a Luna.
Yep.
Make that
that's
happen.
Solid play there. So off lane still open
10
for Team
seconds
Empire.
remaining.
I really like support Slardar with Shadow Demon, so I would be more
5
inclined
seconds remaining.
to make this a position for Slardar, but depending on what they like, maybe they want a different
Reserve
position
time.
for a hero to tango around with this Earth Spirit a bit, or apply some pressure into any sort of a mid lane hero that friends are looking to pick up. But Empire will have the
Dire
final pick
team
in the
battle.
draft here, and maybe they'll wait till around then to decide exactly what's going to happen in that there mid lane.
Radiant
Absolutely.
team pick.
Also, the silencer taken out was a bit of an issue in the last one, caused some great turnarounds. Obviously, Team Friends were able to make great use of that. With the Slaughter this time on Team Empire's lineup, I feel like this, to me, it could end up signaling another just strong,
10
you know,
seconds
initiation. There's no life stealer, but they can have some other way to take advantage of that.
5
Um,
seconds remaining.
What do you think about the Sand King as the second pick overall for Friends?
I think it opens up
Reserve
a Weaver
time.
for Empire if they want to go for that. It's good in the offlane role up against numerous melee heroes, be it supports or cores. You're very annoying with your Caustic Finale. So it certainly opens Empire to thinking more towards, I would guess, ranged cores. And then if we're looking for heroes to help out with a Slardar when Lifestealer's banned out, Weaver is definitely the one that most teams will look towards in the current patch and meta. The silence from Earth Spirit is very annoying. And in fact, they're
Dire
actually going for a
team
Jug,
pick.
another hero that has some trouble with silences. But a safe position 1. It could also still be mid, though, and I would hold on to that. Empire might mix that up if they do still want to go back for something like that Weaver.
I wouldn't mind that at
10
all. They
seconds
take the
remaining.
Jug, obviously, as we're talking about. It's quite a steady, strong
5
hero, and
seconds remaining.
Shadow Demon illusions of it certainly aren't bad. Can just run at people, take down towers without committing too
Reserve
much
time.
themselves, and has
Yeah.
that nice little save potential.
It also opens you up to things like the Terrorblade or something like as a final pick. If you see a weakness, you can still just go Shadow Demon Terrorblade and run the Jug in the mid.
Radiant
So he's just
team
a
pick.
great hero, I think, whenever you open up a Shadow Demon to make sure that you can either send him mid or just send him into the safe lane to make life good here. Dazzle now for Friends, so pretty common that we see Dazzle up against the Slardar. Nice to stop that big burst
10
initiation,
seconds
as well as to
remaining.
just provide some weave to your whole team. Counter a little bit of that amplified
5
damage. Since,
seconds
most
remaining.
teams, whenever they have a Slardar, they also build plenty more physical damage to stack on top of it. So even if you're not amplified,
Reserve time.
chances are if someone from that team is hitting you, it's probably mostly physical.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, and it's going to be a nice little saving component. Not to mention the fact that like Juggernaut max single target damage, to some extent at least with Omni Slash, not
Dire team
completely,
pick.
but it's going to be helpful to get that save if there is like a moment where maybe Earth Spirit gets caught out. You can get Dazzle Graven from afar. It is going to be the Darkseer taking the first little
Finally.
glimpse of him. I love this hero.
Yeah, he's been gone all day. The Grave Crusader.
10
We
seconds
get
remaining.
Slardar Darkseer, the one who started it all. The inventor
5 seconds
of
remaining.
support Slardar. You know, Bulba invents most things, but this time it was Darkseer. He invented support Slardar.
Radiant team
He
back.
made him a thing.
He
And so him
saw
and
into
his,
the
his little
future.
purple pal to hang out.
He saw far into the future.
Ah,
It's
yes,
a
quite.
dark time when there was sports. We're doing it. It's great. Well, we're just gonna move on from that one. Shadow Fiend now is
There
gonna
was,
get taken.
There was definitely a hole in the meta, a vacuum even.
5 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
And, you know,
We're
he broke through that
terrible.
wall.
We're
Yeah.
terrible.
Reserve
Well, it's
time.
been a real surge, though. A lot of teams have been picking up the Slardar since then, so it's great. Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no slouch himself. Pretty big fan of this hero. He's been banned out quite a bit today as well.
He's been raising in popularity. You know.
Yeah.
Dire team back.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Well done. That was pretty good. I thought we were done, and then you got me.
Yeah.
The ban out once again here on the position 1 Venge. Good position 1 hero to capitalize on the minus armor of a Shadow Fiend and a Dazzle.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see what they wind up with instead.
There's been some
5
nice
seconds
combinations
remaining.
recently with Shadow Fiends following up a solid stun and just going for a Requiem onto somebody's face. And that could be
Reserve
something
time.
that comes out here. You see an Earth Spirit Initiation, Sand King there as
Dire
well, and
team
suddenly Requiem, boom. Could be quite good.
It's too bad they had to go and pick Shadow Fiend though, just because I'd love to see like a Magnus right now from Empire.
Yeah.
I would not want to be Magnus up against a Yoku Shadow Fiend. That doesn't sound like a lot of
10
fun.
seconds
I
remaining.
was thinking Mag would be good too. We've been seeing a lot more of them in the CIS scene. Navi was
5
running it before on
seconds remaining.
Dendi. Obviously, they're playing in the EU qualifiers, but still, much in my eyes, a very much CIS team.
Reserve time.
Could be cool. Is there any way that you end up running, like, could you run Jug against Shadow Fiend, and is that something that works?
You can. He just goes the same poor man shield style he always does, but more likely I think that we would see something like the Queen again could be there. She synergizes decently. She doesn't have the stun to go with the vacuum, but she's got the massive AoE damage.
Oh, and you called it.
They'll be the ones that take the Weaver.
Radiant
Well,
team
wrong
pick.
team though.
Fair enough. You said the name. That's all that matters.
You mentioned the hero once in the draft. You called
Yeah.
it. I'm just gonna start naming them all. But there's your physical damage carry. So maybe even better than Avenge would have been.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I guess maybe Slardar's a little stronger against Weaver than he is against Venge, so they're
5
happier to hand that
seconds
one on
remaining.
over. But strong here from friends. I like it. Dragonlance going to do a lot of work this game from Shadow Fiend and Weaver. They don't have the best heroes to get in the way though. Sand King and Earth Spirit both like to be like a little bit elusive. So the target who they latch onto is probably going to end up being Shadow Fiend. Might have a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the way this is sort of all worked out. Friends does have a very strong lineup, like that backbone of minus armor, and then a good amount of disable and control with Earth Spirit and Sand King. But when I'm looking at Team Empire, with this last pick, they've already got very strong lanes. If they get, like, I don't know, one other hero that
10
has a stun
seconds
and is
remaining.
decently tanky with right clicks, it feels like it could be quite strong. Like, maybe even
5
an Invoker with
seconds
the last
remaining.
pick.
They could also
Mirana.
Alchemist
Ooh.
if they really wanted to with the Shadow Demon, but it'll be a Mirana. A lot of magic damage. Try and pass through this armor. Stacking up here from the Dazzle.
Well, last pick now, game number 3, Friends versus Empire, as they're going to bring it all down to the wire now. Mirana was the last pick. We'll see if it ends up being enough to make them deal with it as we head on into game number 3.
Certainly an interesting pick. I haven't seen a mid Mirana in a long time.
Is it potential that this is a position 1 Slardar and then you have Jug mid? Like, is that a possibility with the roaming support of Shadow Demon Mirana?
It is possible. It would be like the Slardar definitely needs an early
10
blink dagger,
seconds remaining.
but with the Darkseer, he tends to be able to do that just from the position 4
5
roll.
seconds remaining.
We'll have to see how much pressure they feel like they can apply onto someone like that Weaver. Definitely outplay potential whenever you have a Weaver, but you make one mistake, you get crushed up, and you're relatively squishy, especially before level 6. For now, it is FN sitting on that Mirana.
Yeah.
Let's see if it stays that way.
Oh, look
Certainly
at
the most likely.
look at Darkseer here. He's just flexing. Look at this guy. That is a.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
nice. He looks like he's
alright.
about to cast Surge.
Yeah, Dota just crashed.
No, yeah, that's on you. Mine
Alright.
crashed too. Guys, don't hit showcase mode.
Don't hit showcase mode in Dota. We don't get to see it. It was working last game. I don't know what the heck happened. Trying to provide some entertainment for the people out there who want to see the biceps of Darkseer. All right, come on, Dota. I believe in you. Have you ever played any of the Battle Cups before?
Yes.
I haven't played one.
Oh, you gotta play some Battle Cup. It's fun.
Is it a lot of fun? I feel like I'd just be depressed when I lose.
Well, you gotta. I bribed. Well, actually, we still lost, but I bribed Korok to play on our team last week by telling him I'd tweet a stream from the Moonduck account.
Okay.
It worked, but we still lost. But it's a good time. People take it pretty intense. You know, you get a little bit of a draft going.
Yeah.
My advice though would be ask people what the hell they'll play before you actually start the draft. Like even if it's your friends and you play with them before and stuff, but maybe you get into the draft and suddenly they don't want to play certain heroes and you have no idea what the hell you're picking, and then you just suck ass in your draft. So there's your tip out there, guys.
Are you gonna dish on who wasn't the team player?
No, it wasn't even so much that. It was just I'm sitting there going, all right, what do you guys want to play? And then no one's responding, and then you just end up with this weird honky-tonk draft that just didn't make sense. I was like an off-lane lifestealer. There were issues.
You get this grand plan. You pull your friends together. You mark out this time when you're all going to compete. The battle for the ages to determine how far you can go, and you go off-lane lifestealer. It hurts.
Yeah, it didn't. Well, and I tried to open up for Cam's Timbersaw, but he couldn't carry me. Either way, no Timbersaw, no lifestealer this game, and everything just pretty stock standard. Again, the Moran, I suppose, probably the most unusual thing. Really don't see this all too often. Currently, items queued up. Looking like that's gonna be mid Morana.
Yeah, definitely. So that's something that also mentioned. Each time that these teams have played against each other, we've seen some similar heroes, but it's been each their sort of own unique draft. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they keep banning Meepo though. That's the real problem. I was expecting a Meepo today. I noticed they've been playing a little bit, but I guess he gets banned up by everyone now.
Yeah.
Just too strong of a hero.
I like
Lone Druid.
I like, by the way, Aloha Dance. He's like, "Do you guys want to go?" And he's like, "No, let's wait." He's kind of a dick, which is great. I love it. Definitely one of the more controversial figures in the CIS Dota 2 scene, but you got to have that confidence if you want to play at the highest level.
Well, right now, once again here, Afterlife just not going to the rune. It's like, nope, not happening. I'm just going to chill up top. I don't want to get smoke ganked. They have a Mirana. They have a Shadow Demon. I'd be expecting a smoke gank. Like, you just get disrupted into Slardar Crush. That's it. You're dead. So maybe Empire not taking advantage of the level 1 advantage that they definitely have in this draft. Like, I don't think there's any question on that. And, well, it's the Dire who are going to try and invade. I suppose you can't really kill Aloha Dance, which is one advantage. But if they're, like, all at the actual rune, that would be a pretty tough battle.
I have seen on occasion Weavers sort of underestimate how long of a cooldown that level 1 Sakuchi is. You can see that it goes 12 seconds. So if he does put himself in a precarious spot, he could end up going down, but it'd be pretty tough. As they're going to move in now.
The battle
See who they can find, the roll forward. Oh, Aloha Dance is just going to pick up the rune and back out. Easy peasy.
Yeah, Maposhka blocking mid, so not there. And Ghostic not going to get anything as he doesn't go aggressive. And I guess Afterlife, once they'd rotated down and scouted that out, he's like, okay, well, I can go ahead and get that banner. Now, his own Observer will be spotted out here as he blocks off the hard camp. So pretty standard maneuver for a up against the Darkseer.
Yeah, and Maposhka does also
is
have
that
those.
Blocking? I guess we'll find out. No, it's not. It's just on the outside.
All right.
I guess he didn't want to block it.
Interesting. There's not really a ton of reasons to place it on the low ground there if it's not going for it, but they ping out that that's there, and they should be able to get the D ward relatively easily. But these lanes looking a little bit interesting to me. You've got Shadow Demon, Juggernaut. Not really a kill potential unless they find Bignum, but even then he could grave himself once he gets level 2. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm still a little perplexed by this top lane. I'm not sure why I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have got dewarded anyway, but I'm surprised Sand King didn't even opt for the block. I guess probably feels like he can contest it because the Cossack Finale.
This was a neat little play, though. They surged up Miposhka and put an Ion Shell on him, so they're going to be able to run down Big Num. That was a really good play.
Cute. Yeah. Nicely done. The power, the reason Darkseer has created support Slardar, so strong.
Damn.
So much better than those old partners. It always used to be Spirit Breaker and Night Stalker. Slardar is just a whole other beast. You give this guy an Ion Shell, he's got Sprint, he's got his own ridiculous stun in the Slithering Crush. What a hero.
He's quite good. And this also, I mean, Afterlife should be able to have an okay time here. It's a one-on-one against the Darkseer, but they could run into some issues. I like mid that FN's still been able to have a really good time. 6-1 versus the 6-4. And that arrow making the difference every now and then, being able to hit that range creep and be sure to take it out every time.
Miposhka steals a haste rune and goes up and takes their bounty rune.
No fear needs to be careful there. The chase down top lane, trying to kill off Afterlife. Salvin up is going to come out, so the turnaround, they find the kill. Afterlife outplaying him.
Oh, at least one thing's going for them. Miposhka's rich, dude. He's like almost as farmed as his Darkseer. He just gets that haste rune, grabs a couple bounty runes. Life looking good. The nice thing about being position 4 Slardar as well is that you don't feel as pressured to go into those tranquils and everything and the magic wand. Probably get your tranquils up relatively early, but other than that, you just go right for that blink. Just want to be able to help out the team. Poverty Shadow Demon will be coming in this game from King R.
Spoiled that shot.
Yeah.
And Miposhka will just be looking to make big plays.
Already has that Windlace queued up, so can make some more moves, but needs to make sure he is somewhat active at least. That top lane dying on Ghost Stick certainly hurts their cause, and he's not going to be too far behind in CS, but he'll end up getting denied by Afterlife.
That was actually pretty nice denied too. Life gets better from Ghost Stick once he hits level 5 though. He'll have the 3rd level into the Iron Shell. At that point the damage will be way too much for Afterlife. Not the best base regen, just uses last tango. And the Iron Shells will force him to be either very aggressive and try and zone Ghost Stick. Well, honestly, you just can't be aggressive enough. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Burrow Strike connects. Another right click with the Caustic. Always frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, that's the extent of his harass right there, too, bro. Like, level 3 Iron Shell now up as well.
Well, meanwhile, bottom lane, Aloha Dance versus Chappie. Not really anything to write home about here. With Dazzle being a little bit afraid, he's going to back out as well. I wouldn't mind seeing them try and either get some more pulls or make something happen, because as for now, like, Empire kind of able to make these rotations with impunity, and they are going to run into an Invis Yoku. All right, that hurts. That would have been a great time to do it, but he spots out those movements and will be able to escape.
Yeah, won't be able to get too much done though, of course. Just walk his way back mid.
If FN's not careful, they could find this kill. There's the roll in, stun to follow, raise, ease. Oh, leap it away, FN! Ends up going down. The right click and the raise a little bit off the mark. They might be able to turn this around onto No Fear. Right clicks coming through, the illusions as well. They find that kill. Raise off the mark for Yoku on the follow-up though.
That was a goof. So they knew he was coming to the Invis room, but just not able to get it done in time. Yeah, no leap there. I guess the silence just a bit too much. Did he even have the silence when that
I think
gank
it was
started?
just the boulder smash.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the FN went down. But alas, Invis room pays off despite them knowing it was there.
Yeah.
As Yoku fakes some raises. He's thinking about farming that camp.
Very sketchy stuff right there from Team Empire, but still 2-2, and a game that's been closer than it's been most of the other times. We talk about the maximum CS on everybody's squad, and you're seeing it here as well. Nobody severely getting dominated in these lanes. Setting up for an interesting mid-game.
Yeah, now game number 1 was pretty similar to this as well. Empire just came out roaring. And pinging around here on the Sand King, just saying, hey, this guy, let's deal with him. You know, he can't really handle me too well right now. I got my Iron Shells up. Where's my Slardar?
Yeah,
now on his way.
Yeah, they were thinking about it. Miposhka's there, but no great way to get inside of him. Afterlife might go down. He does have Epicenter and 4 points up in Burrow Strike, so they're going to need to time this quite well. Waiting for that moment of initiation. Looks like it's going to come here. They get the burrow strike. There's the epicenter as well. The combination is there. They're going to be able to get him. Mapochka as well. Oh, if they go a second earlier, that looks different.
Yo, no fear. The plays. Perhaps slightly fortuitous.
Yeah, definitely some
Bottom
good
lane
luck.
as well. Loha Dance dropping low, but FN can't finish the job there, even with the arcane. Perhaps a lucky arrow being chucked could do something.
Yeah, but they're just going to go right to the shrine, and this is the point where friends start to become more and more difficult to deal with. They are a 2,000 net worth lead and right about 1,000 experience. What's the turnaround point here for Empire? How do they start taking a bit more advantage in these fights?
Their game is a lot slower. Darkseer just wants to farm like crazy up top, pressure the lane, get arcanes, get mech, and they have to wait for Slider, who's the real guy who wants to come online, get into that blink dagger. Doesn't have the best way to set up into kills right now. It's mostly more about trying to play out this patient game and hoping there's going to be dives from friends that he can capitalize on. One crush into a spin, crush into an Omni Slash, those kind of plays. The Dire side, though, I don't think they're too unhappy with that either. Weaver still needs a little bit. You always want to get your ring, and then you want to do Dragon Lance. Nice sentry.
Yeah, they found him there. That's going to be a good one. They dropped the Omni Slash as well, making sure they kill him before the time lapse comes out. So, well played. They're trying to burn through him, and now Bignum also in some trouble. They have the arrow from far away. Oh, FN.
My God. That was sick.
The leap into arrow. Not often you get to see that from such long distance.
That was actually awesome. Wow, very, very well timed there with the crush coming back off cooldown. And now Mapochka once again in an aggressive position for the bounty rune. The real question, oh look at that, King Air even leaves it, but that'll be for his mid because they have a bottle, so Mapochka will be a little bit sad.
Yeah, he's gotten enough done. Oh, probably not. He needs more. They all need a lot more. It's been looking okay though. It's been very back and forth this one, and you know maybe this is what they need. It also is worth noting that the rotation over and the Slardar being behind the tower is not going to be scouted. They don't have Omni Slash though.
They have Afterlife down here though, and the ward will spot Afterlife. Okay, he's okay. Just gonna be the who's pinging this at? Oh, that was Darkseer. Jeez, that scared me for a second.
They're looking to do this. This is going to be a big play. If they can manage to pull this off, it would be absolutely huge. Not scouted out as well by this ward. So the wraparound is coming. And trying to head towards mid for Yoku.
They've been off the map for a long time though.
Now, I don't know if he's going to realize it or be able to respond in time. The chase is there. The surge, the crush, it's coming. They've got the arrow as well if they want to use it. Yoku going to drop mid. Huge play.
Yeah, you could tell the Dire knew something was up. They just couldn't quite figure out exactly which lane was going to be. The TP was there, waiting in time from Dazzle, but knew that he wouldn't be there in time, so Bignum will just cancel. Oh, actually, it wasn't even Bignum's TP, was it? This is still off cooldown, but... Well, someone canceled their TP.
Yeah.
That was Afterlife. There we go.
So, about 9 minutes into it, you can see that 3 of the top 4 are friends, and they still have been able to hold on to this slight lead in this game. But I'd be really worried about the combinations that they've got later on down the line. You take a look at Darkseer and Slardar, it's just so hard to deal with that once they both get those blinks up.
We say no.
Yeah, one thing compared to our last Xiaofeng game, though, as that didn't go too well, is that we do have the Dazzle. Last time there wasn't really a defensive support, so we didn't see any big Requiem plays. Dazzle. This time, that potential is actually there. We talked about the idea of how they'll probably end up going on Yoku, as Weaver's a little bit too maneuverable. Same thing with the Sand and the Earth Spirit, so Yoku just is forced to be this big focal point. If they end up committing a lot of resources on top, and then suddenly you just throw out that big grave, could be some trouble of brewing. But they do also have a couple of stuns to throw at us, so as long as they're not all spent, that massive Requiem might not happen. Right now, speaking of Requiems, we do have an Invis rune bottled up onto Yoku. Could try and find himself a big-ass play. Do have a sentry in the mid lane, though, conveniently for the Radiant.
Yeah, they spotted that pickup there. They were kind of contesting for it, and that might have actually just been a sentry dropped in response to it. So, wanting to ensure that FN has a good game here. He's already building towards the Ags, and about 2,500 gold away, but this is going to be the rotation. Afterlife, no fear. He needs to be careful, as it can drop very quickly. And Epicenter movement in. They're going to be able to catch it. Quick little jump. FN gone.
Radiant's top tower is under
In that moment, you feel so safe because you know the Shadow Fiend is off the map. You probably saw the Invis rune, and you're just thinking like, okay, well, he's, you know, I've got my sentry. I'm like baiting the Shadow Fiend in, and I'm just gonna back away, and he's gonna waste his rotation and time, and maybe not even considering the fact that this Blink Dagger was from Afterlife hunting him. And so big pickup for them, and now pressuring top lane. Aloha Dance has his Dragon Lance, looking towards a Lincoln Sphere.
You know what I'd love to see more of? Earth spirits kicking Sand Kings out of their epicenter to like be the initiation before the Blink Dagger. That's what we need more of in this world.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Is that what they just did?
No, they didn't. But you got a Blink Dagger. But I want to see it.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, it's an easy peasy one here as FN's going to get silenced up again. A ton of damage on top of him and 2 quick deaths for their mid players. Empire not really prioritizing keeping them safe. And, well, they are going to get a tier 1 tower bottom, but that really hurts.
Yeah, this is the supposed to be survivable mid. This is here. Oh, I have an escape mechanism. It's fine. Yeah, I can't go down, but no fear again, showing off his Earth Spirit skills and plays, comboing up there with a nice initiation from Afterlife. And you can see why teams really favoring Earth Spirit lately. The insane reach he has. It's difficult to find a position forward that's so mobile and so consistently able. Like, the only other position forward that can follow up with a stun like that would be an arrow or something from Mirana. But much harder to execute and easier to block off if you're the opponents.
Well, a very tough one, and I gotta say right now it feels as if the sort of swings that we've been seeing into the favor of Friends is mainly based off of vision. Like, you take a look at what vision they have right now, they can see everything going on mid. They even caught King R that's heading over here to this off lane, and then you compare to what Empire has, and they're just completely blind all across the map. They have 1 ward mid, which sort of scout things out, but it is a tough one.
Yeah, there have been some nice D wards here. Good paying attention to the details from the Dire side. Big them catching this ward over here. They're making sure there's nothing in the mid lane, despite these rotations from Shadow Fiend between the jungles. He's been doing a lot of neutral work. And actually, a little bit of counter vision now coming as arrows are flying from FN, but not going to find Afterlife. Tower very hardy and healthy, but they're not going to try and set up a play. Instead, Afterlife just going to head bottom, pressure there with his team, and see if the opposite effect will come into play, where they can use No Fear and Afterlife once again here to set up on somebody, only showing Aloha Dance, a hero that typically does push by themselves.
Yeah.
But look at mid, it's just like completely empty, so I'm sure they know what's going on.
Yeah, nobody's showing up. They're all behind him here. I would be very surprised if Empire decided to rotate bottom, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. They're also going to be able to pressure this further if they wanted towards the tier 2. They also have the Helm of the Dominator for Chappie.
Yeah, with the ward up ahead, I think this makes the most sense for Empire. Just keep pressuring, send the creep into the jungle, get total vision and control over here, and just wait to initiate. They don't have the same reach, though, as the Dire side right now. No Blink Dagger for a while yet on Maposhka.
Well, it looks like we might have a fight of brewing. Afterlife, Invis rune. Oh, really fortuitous. And Maposhka will spot out the Earth Spirit, but the plus side is you're very spread out right now for Empire. They realize what could be coming their way, and so they're not going to get caught out, at least at the start. Burrow Strike going to connect there on Maposhka, getting rolled on. They can't find him. He's backing away. They canceled the TP, actually, of FN, so they're in a position where they might want to fight this. Now they're going to back.
Yeah. It was a nice play, though. Just cancel the TP to make sure he can get off the Moonlight Shadow and help his allies. A little bit hesitant there from Afterlife, a situation where maybe a more bold player could have taken advantage. Just, he was a little bit too concerned that they might have been dewarding, so there could be sentries down, so I don't want to get too aggressive with my Invis room, when in reality there wasn't anything there. He could have just found the prime target and started the fight off there, which could have went really well for the Dire, but better safe than sorry in his eyes.
Yeah.
This time it does work out to the advantage of Empire, though.
Mirana, who's been heavily pulled in terms of her farm, is now below the Sand King. And while the Ags is going to definitely change that farming dynamic and make her a lot more potent, I feel like might end up falling a bit too far behind here if things aren't careful.
Yeah, his time has been really hurting. 3,000 gold behind Shadow Fiend. There's that BKB. Nothing to pierce this. I mean, unless You know, Maboshka plans on taking Bash anytime soon.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah.
under
Their only
attack.
real hope is going to be an Omni/kill or something.
Well, this might be a decent place right here. They're pressuring out, getting a position to try and deal with the low hands. He's going to TP away immediately, though, and Bignum also out of there. Trying to look for it. They're just not going to be in position. Yeah, Maposhka knew where he was at, but can't chase him down. Friends inside their head.
Yeah, surprisingly close on the play on that one, but nothing doing.
Radiant's middle tower is
And
under
Dire
attack.
just keep up a little bit of pressure going. Can also head in towards Roche. Really, at any time, it won't be the fastest, but bugs from Weaver are pretty handy for it. Shadow Fiend's aura, the fact that they have that BKB still waiting to be used gives them a massive advantage in the fight. And until the Blink Dagger's up on the slider, not a real concern up against Empire. I think you'd really like to get Roche before you see that as friends.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, you can see a couple of the talents that have been coming out from these guys, but really right now it's all about trading out these towers. And looks like actually Friends are going to back out as the mid tier 2 goes down. Did they spot this smoke? I don't believe so. They don't have vision. This could be a pretty big fight if Friends end up taking it effectively.
Yeah, again, probably thinking it's like a bait
Dire's
play down
top
bottom.
tower is under
Ooh,
attack.
Afterlife.
Dire's
Still
structures
has that epicenter available. Jump forward, catches onto one. Maposhka's going to be the only one. The follow-up is there from No Fear. And, well, Magnetized down onto 2 of them.
is under attack.
Slash already down. The illusions are starting to deal their damage. Ghost Stick is going to be able to get out and away. Maposhka also TPing. They are going to get out.
Dire's middle tower
So everybody
is
from
under
Empire escapes.
attack. Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
I'd say
tower
maybe a
is
bit of a
under
mistake
attack.
for Loha Dance to not stay. Without any solid catch there, they hadn't really factored in the Moonlight Shadow, I think, once again. Or at least they didn't save enough stuns for just the TPs. There was a dust onto No Fear, but clearly not catching enough there. So Aloha Dance leaving, tries to join the fight, but can't get anything done. Means the bottom tower stays very hardy and healthy. And Juggle just TP bot and chat to keep this pushed out here. So they have driven them out of the top side of the map. We'll see if they decide to head into Roche. There's a haste rune onto Yoki here, and maybe they'll try for an aggressive smoke. Head back in towards that rating half the map.
Love to see it. I mean, we're looking at it right now, too, and there's only two tier 2 towers left for Friends. Meanwhile, for Empire, they've still got all 3 of their own standing. So despite the slight lead, it's definitely starting to get evened out a little bit more, and Empire able to get more out of the map than this Friends squad.
Yeah, Radiant Vision spots Bignum here, or rather, sorry, spots Afterlife here, rotating around, but he's just gonna show mid. Okay, so no real hint of a smoke action coming here. As Bignum still just walking around, holding onto it. They keep kind of like grouping and splitting and grouping and splitting. Maybe just deciding what items they want, or if they want to just try and go in for some sort of an aggressive play. But now it's finally here. The item for Empire, the one that kind of ties us all together here, at least in my eyes. The Blink Dagger on Maposhka.
Yeah.
I guess the Agnib's on FN's also kind of important. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
he's now well past that and into almost a blink.
That's going to be quite good. And if they're able to find the double blink, then you've got great chase potential, tremendous amount of damage. And I'm kind of waiting also to see now what this next team fight looks like as far as Shadow Fiend is concerned, because he's got his BKB, he has a Dragon Lance, so he's got damage, but the mobility isn't quite there. And it feels like these fights are going to be kind of a story of who's able to stay with it better. And you know, Afterlife, he's jumping around all over the place. Earth Spirit as well. It feels like the follow-up might not be there in time.
That's the smoke right under a ward. I would love to see Empire go really YOLO on this and just like run into the smoke with the Blink Dagger and try and take advantage of it.
The prize
what
is mine.
they'll probably do is just back FN out of there. He even leaps, trying to get the most gap possible. Group up near high ground, wait for a while. If you don't find them, maybe smoke back into them in the hopes that they'll come back in the vision of one of these. Maybe even try and like de-ward or something.
Yeah.
But they're not grouping up. Instead, they're just putting themselves in the opposite end of the map.
And FN is going to back out now. It looks like they read that pretty well as to where they were expecting Friends to go. And now, everybody getting set up down bottom. Although they don't have FN, they need to be so careful right now. They drop down a ward. They have eyes on Aloha Dance. Going to be able to jump. Yoku's coming in from the other side. Omni Slash. But they also have the Grave down, so he's going to be able to live through this. My Dota crashes. What? What? Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Requiem of Souls comes out, but they're all freaking dead. All right, well, Friends somehow managed to DDoS Empire or DDoS me, whatever the hell has happened there, and they destroyed them. Holy crap.
Yeah, great stun by Afterlife.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And that after like he just had such a rough game one. He really just could not get anything done on Nick Assassin that I was kind of feeling bad for the guy, but last 2 games
Dire's middle
very,
tower
very
is
strong.
under attack.
No deaths last game, and so far so good. 3-0 and 4. Just completely broke up that combo from the Darkseer, perfectly timed after the vacuum to make sure that wall didn't come out, or it would have been on 3 heroes, and the minus armor aura from Yoku would have went to work. That's maxed out. The right clicks from that illusion are certainly nothing to not be worried about. So either way, despite losing that fight, they're gonna move right into the Roche pit.
I don't know.
Scary.
Radiant's
I
bottom
don't know what the
tower
heck
is
just
under
happened there, but it was a bit of a kerfuffle. It looks like Chappie is going to get the bugs on him now, so they spot this out, take down the healing ward as well, and now with no wall, this is a scary one to take indeed.
It's nice though. They use the Moonlight Shadow, gonna move back.
Wrap around, Aloha dance. They're going to see him. They're jumping forward, able to find Bignum, taking him out at the straight, but no!
Oh, no.
Gets the Grave, Silence now onto 2, the Burrow Strike as well, Vacuum onto 2, and able to kill off that Dazzle. Aloha dance still getting chased down. They have the ulti on a Shadow Fiend, slowing him down quite a lot, and Raze is not going to hit onto anybody. They found no fear. There's the Crush, able to just kite away the Shadow Fiend. He's doing literally nothing. Now they have the arrow onto Aloha dance. Can they find the kill? It's not going to happen. Afterlife, the Epi. Lift up Yules. Chase continues. Ghostic has his initiation if he wants it, but no, not going to be there. A double now for Afterlife, saving the day on his Sand King. And, well, they're going to crush and try and escape. Maposhka blinks out. But this is going to be a dead Roshan.
Yeah, really big burden fell onto him with the Death of the Earth Spirit to keep controlling up these fights and allow Aloha Dance and Yoku to go to work, and that's exactly what Afterlife did. Burrow Strikes, and then controlling up the Yule Scepter right into another Burrow Strike, too. Very well played by him. Making sure that there's no comeback Roche here from Empire. Friends will assert the control back over the game.
Quite strong performance. It's still very close in net worth. Experience heavily tilted into Friends' favor. And the big problem for me that I'm seeing is that this Shadow Fiend, they can kite him. They're going to be able to stay away from him, you know, doing too much damage. But at some point in time, they need to take him down. And he can just hit buildings now. Aegis online.
Yeah, Aegis, BKB, Manta style virtually done. Or even has an illusion rune, so another Manta style. He can just sell his bottle if he wants to. Looks like it's probably what he's about to do.
God.
Yeah, Manta up.
That is scary. Well, next couple of minutes here, we still haven't seen the big wall combo coming out from Darkseer yet, and that is something that they can rely upon. But they just need to make sure that they're taking the right fight.
Yeah, maybe Friends get too ahead of themselves or something. They go into a big fight with Afterlife. If the pipe pops at the right time, be able to deny enough out. Or actually clearing up Bignum right at the start before the Grave comes out, and he's able to force you to commit more resources to him would also be kind of nice. But Bignum also playing a very nice game. And his 3 deaths have all come like post-Graves and plenty of things expended from the side of Empire, so he's quite happy with what's happened so far, I would say. Top lane FN, just gonna leap into the trees, blink away.
Yeah, not wanting to get caught out there. Like, there might have been a chance for him to do something, but pretty tough as Chappie want to get the TP away. But this is a big smoke movement now. There's no way Poposhka goes on this, right? There's no way.
Is under attack.
No, there's a Linkent anyway, so it's not even worth going for like the amplified blink away.
Oh, FN, they break the smoke also, so they're expecting to see something over this direction, and they're not going to get it. Might even throw an arrow just to scout things out, as it looks like they are going to be pushing.
Fear. He blinks and kicks, and Maposhka just blinks away in time.
Very close, very scary. Leap away, killing off the creep wave. And they do have the ranged one coming, so God, so much damage. Deso on Aloha Dance. Yoku going to be able to hit away here as well, and that tower is gone.
Yeah, slight pressure in the mid lane from the Jug Illusions. So he's doing as much as he can here from Chappie, but they're able to quickly dispose of that. Good use of the Shadow Demon, though, keeping those mantas going.
Oh, Afterlife. Burrow, Epi coming out. They also have the No Fear there. Going to deal a good bit of damage, and well, that should be a kill. They're TPing in to try and stop this, though. Shadow Demon is there. King R spots out No Fear. He has a blink in 3 seconds. They need to break it. There is the Shadow Poison. All right, breaking the blink. That should be the kill now. Chappie going to get... What? Oh, he blinks out. No Fear. Do they spot him? Do they have eyes? Oh, God, that hurts. You would have loved to pick that one up at least.
Wait, what even happened there? Chappie just like started spinning?
I'll take that as tribute.
Maybe he's worried about like a kick or something, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
God.
Okay then. Well, Yoku's down bottom. Gonna keep up the push here. Give me a raise, another raise, and double right clicks. Just cleaning up these creeps. He's gonna lose his Aegis in about a minute here. At least one tower will fall to it though.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Well,
under attack.
friends, 4,000, 5,000 net worth lead. That
Radiant's
experience is
bottom
continuing to
tower has
expand, and I mean, there are ways for them to get split pushed. You've got Boots of Travel and Ags on Mirana, as well as a couple of heroes that hit towers pretty freaking well. Chappie gonna send in the illusions. And it does not feel like friends are feeling comfortable just going for the straight up 5-man. They don't want to end up giving away anything here.
Yeah, I think they're still pretty capable of splitting up the map in terms of resources. They're getting the better edge. They also, only one tower left. They cleaned up 2 with that Aegis. Probably pretty happy with their current situation.
Oh, and FN over here. We'll see if he throws out a scouting arrow, but it looks like Afterlife is going to be the one that's there, leaping out and away. And they're not going to try and go for it. It might have been an opportunity with No Fear over in the side.
Oh yeah, definitely a potential kill, but didn't quite come far enough. So good sense by him. Make sure he won't give away too much. And this is game number 3, so the important one, the one that really matters here. He's playing things a bit more cautiously than before, and you're starting to get a feel as to how friends have been playing this one.
These Jug Illusions are quite strong.
This is a nice pickup by No Fear to get the gem. And we gotta start closing this one out here. Although Empire don't have to worry about the invisible Nyx Assassin from Afterlife for the 3rd game in a row, it's still his presence hiding off the map, sitting in trees, looking for those blink plays. Rather annoying, even as someone more survivable like a Mirana. Doesn't matter too much, and the mobility is just there to counter the lead from the blink, just from a Earth Spirit and a Sand King.
I will say I've been quite impressed with Empire's ability to at least hold on to not completely losing the game. There were several moments in this where it felt like if they overextended a bit more, they probably would have gotten wiped and just lost. But you look at Ghost Stick here. He's got himself a pipe. The mechanisms are there. He's going back for a Blink Dagger now. They're going to have the tools with which to fight Empire, even if they're pretty far behind. Like, all is not completely lost at this point. We've seen what Darkseer High Ground can do.
Yeah, they even like brought it back down closer to 0 too. Like Empire have been trying, and now it is starting to grow further and further. Again, the efficiency is popping out here from friends, along with just the overall threat kind of delaying what FN's able to achieve. This Observer not going to get spotted out as unfortunately for the Radiant side of his placed up after, or rather I suppose the other way around there, Dire side. Not going to be able to take care of that ward, but a pause.
Yeah, they're thinking about something. This is a very tenuous moment because you have the creep that's right here. The Centaur Conqueror can get a 2-second stun if the TP rotations come for the Shrine. Darkseer can TP immediately to the Shrine themselves. And this might end up being a solid moment for initiation as... Oh, no, they're just going to back out. Don't want to risk it.
They do have the blink now on Ghost Stick, which you can buy up. Maybe they'll try and go for a play here. In fact, yeah, it looks like they want Afterlife.
Oh, looking, finding, jump forward. They got him. Nicely played.
You make a fine crater.
6-time kill streak ended. Handed over to FN2. Fantastic hero to give it to. This is a BKB, and now this will allow him to start building it towards an offensive item. Possibly the E-Blade. It might be tempting not to go for it, though, just because of the fact that Yoku does have a BKB, and now actually into a butterfly, man. He is terrifying.
Yeah. That is a problem.
That's a tough situation to try and deal with, too.
Maybe
Can you handle that?
I'll go like Bloodthorn? Is that an item? This one? It feels like it might be too much.
Dire's
That's not the
middle
worst
tower is
idea.
under
Unfortunately, it's just too expensive. Yeah, possible. Maelstrom currently queued up here for
Dire's
FN.
middle
Gonna
tower
add
has
on a little bit more
fallen.
magic damage. Him and Chappie together.
One plus side to this right now is that you are going to see both of the shrines get taken down, and this is what you could say for Empire. They've been doing a better job of shutting down these objectives of Friends. They're not giving them complete and total map control.
They really have. The Juggernaut Illusions have done so much work. Chappie looking like reminiscent of Madara, who just, before FNM's bigger runs, like long before they were even getting the boss or anything like that, Madara was just, in my eyes, by far the best Juggernaut split feature. The guy was insane. There were so many games where he pulled back from the depths just with Manta style and the spin TPs out, and those same things are available this game. Not really much Friends can do, so he's able to play very aggressively. And it's very surprising that they were the ones able to knock down the towers first to start opening up these shrine kills. And maybe that could be a way for them to get into Roche. You know, they were so far behind in a lot of the instances in this game, it wasn't really a big consideration. But they do have the slider.
Yeah.
One decent kill could open it up for them. But at the same time, the minus armor is certainly there from Friends as well.
Oh, and they're dropping down some wards. They're going to scout out Roshan, see that it's not going their way. But need to be careful. The blink the gem did just finish off now for the Darkseer. So Ghost Stick, large and in charge, and they could be ready for a battle here.
Oh, that gem is nice. Oh, that was... Who bought that? Oh, King R bought that, poor guy. Poverty life, man.
Yeah.
And gotta buy a gem, give it to your Darkseer.
Ooh, but they also have Greaves now, so a ton of sustain, both for just straight up HP and regeneration, and then you also got the pipe active ability. It is looking quite good for them. Poshka went in for the jump, didn't end up getting it. They pipe up. And it looks like with that, Friends will take an offensive and actually moving in now with a smoke play. This is quite bold. Don't know if this is going to end up working for them. They would love to be able to take these fights in a little bit of a better position. They're walking forward. Ghost Stick ends up getting hit, though. That's a pretty decent vacuum ult. It actually only connects onto Afterlife, and, well, they are going to be able to bring down No Fear at the start of this one. They're all running through the wall, so Presence of the Dark Lord being applied. Ghost Stick still getting ran down over to the other side. They might be able to do this. It looks like they're going to run around from behind him. Omni Slash is available, but no. Not going to be able to kill him off in time. Running away again. They have Aloha Dance in their sights. He has a Mjolnir. There's the time lapse backing away, and does look like he's going to be able to walk out. Yoku takes down King R. Well, that's all going on, and it's still trying to run down Aloha Dance. Omni Slash chasing, damage, D and Delt. They find the kill.
All right, Empire doing it. They've had enough. They've held out long enough. Unbelievable, really. But this is looking so well for them. I really like that play again from Chappie there, just pulling that Omni Slash. Knowing that it was so unlikely that it would kill Yoku, it was better to hold on to it, and that's how they end up getting the kill there onto our Weavers. So, Roche, it's theirs. It's handed over to Chappie.
has fallen to the Radiant.
And we're not seeing the power of I mean, he had the BKB TP leave the fight. That fight was also without FN there to start.
Yeah.
He had to like run from top lane into that fight, and his only contribution at the beginning was the Moonlight Shadow.
You know, very strange engagement, because it wasn't even like the big wombo combo. They all just ran through the wall then, and then they got like those auras debuffing themselves, and I don't know, it felt like just a very strange decision there for Friends to try and dive for it.
Yeah, that was a pretty deep one. I guess it just felt like they were a lot stronger. Maybe not fully expecting just how much Empire have been split pushing and how much net worth they've gained. Now after what felt like just getting that BKB, FN is still maybe not sure exactly what he wants to buy. It's a really tough game to itemize. It's extremely difficult, I think. Like Juggernaut, it's obvious you need the MKB. I mean, you're all right-click. You have to get through this butterfly on Yoku.
Yeah.
But when it comes to FN, maybe just not quite as certain. In fact, he'll pick up a Demon Edge now as well, so he is going to offer the MKB too.
Okay.
He's just saying that Yoku's the main problem, and I can agree with that too. I would say that's probably the right call, rather than stacking on more of this magic. He's got BKB on one hand, and he's got MKB on the other, so might as well go for the surefire bet of this damage will get through if I go for the MKB.
Yeah. Well, and you can also imagine that later on Weaver could end up going for a butterfly as well. It looks like he's not going to do that.
Potential's there, and then the MKB is also going to help you siege quite a bit better.
Oh, yeah.
The prize
in terms
is
of
mine.
the actual raw
Dire's
right
bottom
click
tower
damage.
is under attack.
Well, here we go. It looks like they're still not too concerned about pressuring Empire. Do you like their chances late game against what the Shadow Demon or Shadow Fiend and Weaver will be throwing their way?
I'm not sure. The Aghanim Scepter, I haven't seen the biggest plays quite yet from Afterlife. Maybe if he can just hit onto a couple double stuns, these fights could just be crushed. We talked a little bit about like double bubble strategies in terms of like supports just being so in sync and stacking up. Working in our first series today, the same idea could definitely be there from Afterlife and Earth Spirit. They're now kind of turning into the same hero. If they can just that same sort of range and combination exists between Boulder Smash, Silence, and the Burrow Strike. So if they can just draw that line together and find the perfect one, you can imagine that'd be a devastating team fight for anyone who doesn't have a BKB.
Yeah.
Jog doesn't like building into that item, so right now that's only going to be Mirana.
Ooh, and you see this movement back. Very scary situation. Aloha dances. Not going to be the only one there. They spot out Bignum. They could catch him.
Like, whatever. Like, I'm so fine with dying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Miposhka runs into him, finds him, and well, you tank the gank. You press out the tower. They're not going to have to worry too much about it. I would like to see Empire do a little bit better job of the warding around the map. That's definitely felt to me like the weakest part of their game so far has been kind of their inability to establish and maintain vision over the map.
The thing is, look at Bignum. He has brown boots, infused raindrops, and someone else's bottle.
Yeah.
All he has done this game is buy sentries. Look at it. It's
Yeah.
actually insane. There's just a sentry there. Sentry over here. Oh, a sentry over here.
Yeah.
And one more down bottom for good measure. They've been trying, and this is after Friends lost their gem, and still Bignum is committing so many of their resources into this.
True enough.
So it's definitely understandable why there's a lack of vision, at least now for the Radiant. Although I would agree, you know, it wouldn't hurt to have more. Unfortunately, we don't really know exactly what their observer situation is right now. They do have a sneakier one placed up post-sentry from the Dire, so this might end up surviving, although that Radiant, or rather the Dire observer down below might have seen it.
Mm-hmm. I think
See
it
if
did.
Bignum
They
goes
pinged
to
it out.
scout. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But, well, the Mjolnir Wild Wing Ripper. Not often you see that.
Classic combination.
Oh, Bignum.
Not again.
Scary stuff. They're going to end up going for it.
Juggernaut ghosts.
And you thought SD Luna was a problem. Take a look at this. Now, they kill it off very quickly, but
Just gonna say, best hero in the game for it though, Sand King.
yeah.
That Aghanim Scepter really helps against illusion spam. It's virtually useless.
Soldier's fortune.
Too much damage, too much control. 12-13. We're almost 40 minutes into this game. It's been very, very close. And, of course, you know, the winner of this is get a great position to be able to move on into the playoff stages. But still very questionable about who's going to end up being able to take it there. And jump forward. Crush connects onto Aloha Dance, breaking the Lincolns as well. They back out. Might have overextended slightly, but Poshka taking a lot of damage. Vacuum wall onto 2. Lift up Yule's Scepter. Afterlife's still there. They had eyes on him. But that was the wall committed. And Empire won't have it for another 90 seconds.
Rare to see such a skirmish this late in the game. 40 minutes and it's only a 2v2, but the spreading of the map is still continuing. It'll just be Darkseer Illusions farming waves for now. Trying to steal some last hits from his Mirana. And so far, so good.
Yeah. It's what you would expect, what you would hope for, I guess. I don't know. It just definitely feels to me like it's on a knife's edge. Who do you feel like comes out ahead in these fights, or is it all down to initiation?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you got Darkseer Slider on one side, and then you have Sand King or Earth Spirit on the other. So the BKBs, only one hero on each team that's relevant in that case. You know, you silence Jug, you silence Weaver. Either could just be blown up immediately. It's just about who gets it off. Is it going to be the vacuum
I'll take that
into
as
the
tribute.
crush, or is it going to be the burrow strike into the kick and the silence?
We'll have to keep our eyes out for it. A quick little jump away there, not wanting to get caught out. FN will keep the laves pushed. The other thing to think about is we've got level 25s coming up, and several of them are quite strong. We're, of course, going for the attack range on Shadow Fiend. Do you like for Mirana the multi-arrow? Do you think that that's the way to go?
It's weird. It's surprisingly good. It's just about the vision. That's really all it comes down to. I'd say it is, actually. We'll see if she opts for it. I do like it, though. I think it's very strong. I think it's surprisingly strong. I thought it would be really bad, but I've seen it in enough games now that I'm just kind of like, okay, I can understand why this is the choice for most people.
Oh, look at Maposhka up here. It just this is the ultimate vision that he's getting his team right now.
Dude, he's been there for so long.
This is absurd.
It's kind of a waste of time almost at this
point.
point.
What?
This smoke? Was it a bug or like I don't know if a bug hit him first or their smoke got popped or something? That'd be my only guess.
We're gonna have to look at that. It must have been. Yeah, that must have been what it is. So a little unfortunate there. They end up losing one. And a very important one at that. It actually is going to be the leap attack speed. So that is quite good with both Jug and her having MKB. That's a lot of damage, a lot of attack speed.
I'm surprised though, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the last I don't remember who I was discussing it with. I think it was Suns fan, because I think he was playing Mirana one game. But we were just talking about in general. I think he said Weehaw said it was he thinks the arrow's always better. Because he talks to DC guys quite a bit, as you can imagine. But the whole idea just being that when is your leap ever used offensively? It's pretty rare to do it even in the later stages of the game. Generally, if you're using leap offensively, you've already won the fight anyway, so the 100 attack speed's not going to make that big of a difference.
Right.
Whereas the arrow, you can spam it out quite a bit for just the scouting purposes.
And occasionally being able to hit just a random one just wins you the fight too.
Yeah, no, it really can, so.
Well.
Attack speed, nothing to scoff at when it's 100, especially when you have this MKB. We're talking about large amounts of flat damage, plus 66. 100 attack speed added on top of that is certainly going to help him out in these engagements if he wants to go a little bit aggro onto someone like Yoku.
Yeah. Butterfly's going to be the next pickup, but it looks like right now Friend's still not able to take down that tier 2 tower in the mid lane, and that's going to end up leading them to not really having the same level of map control. Going to try and take these towers down and eventually be able to secure the shrine. Still about a minute away from Roshan, while we have Mapushka who lays down a deep ward, and we'll just TP out.
And any helm creeps still left here on the Dire. Oh, scan from the Radiant. We'll scout out big one. Oh, a dancing rotation. So they don't have any way to scout the pit currently from the Dire side.
They're going to send in the Alpha Wolf. There's the jump. They have it. Breaking the Lincolns. There's the arrow on top of it. A lot of trouble. They pop the BKB right on time. Aloha Dance is going to be graved up there and pulled inside for the moment. Afterlife turned upon as well. He's going to end up dropping. They don't quite have enough damage to finish him off, though, so everybody's so low right now. They are going to kill off No Fear. It looks like the Sand King will escape, though. Afterlife living on just the skin of his teeth. My goodness.
Yeah, cannot afford to reinitiate when you're that low amplified damage for sure. I'm gonna pop a shrine.
Oh, and right as Roche is gonna respawn, are they really just gonna wait for it here?
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, they have a helm creep, so they might just go look for it.
Wait for it.
Ah, it's so close.
Come on now. There it is. They got it. And they might decide to just turn back for that one. Actually, chase down Yoku, do some damage, but time to get Roche. And this is a huge win for them.
Oh, there's your initiation. It all starts out with Maposhka's crush into the arrow, and there was even a really nice destruction from King Iron just to delay the time before Weaver could come back to make sure that the full time lapse wouldn't be back to full HP.
Right.
Well played by him. So either way, they get Aegis. They go up, deny some wards. The Vision again not gonna be in a good spot for the Dire. Oh, actually, they do have that gem up here. That's big enough to purchase another one for Afterlife a while ago, so they didn't lose it in that fight. Thought maybe Earth Spirit had it. That's good.
He also has a
I gotta
sheep
check
stick.
how much Bignum spent on Vision this game. Yeah, he's had that for a while in Afterlife.
It's quite a great initiation tool with, I mean, all the different avenues for it. I'm a little bit interested. Oh, God. Oh, FN. Oh, no. No Fear here as well. They've got the epicenter. Damage coming in. The right clicks as well. BKB jump, and it's going to die. Not going to be able to escape from that one. So BKB charge used and dead for 90 seconds. Friends could force a buyback here. It looks like they're going to try and pressure out mid, though. I don't know how this works out at the end. There could be
Chappie's a lot closer to these buildings, and he does more damage and has an Aegis. I would think the pressure's on Friends right now.
They're going to end up TPing back. Yeah, they don't want to
Yoku's TP is on cooldown for 15 seconds as well. They have Fortify, though, so they should have time to hold.
Yeah, they don't want to end up all TPing back and going in 1-by-1, so it looks like Empire will force back the rest of the side of Friends, but won't push the issue too much.
Yeah, so good to get the kill, good to deny a little bit of gold to Mirana, but in the end, not going to be a big game changer right now. It should give them a little bit of a better status on the lanes, though, and they're even going to try and camp bottom, maybe hope that their movement will have given Jug the idea to come back here.
I mean, 40 seconds now before Mirana's up. If they could manage to find a pickoff, it would be quite a strong timing. Force out that buyback, but Aloha Dance not there right now. Still with no boots, so no TP is there either.
It's a stalemate right now, it would seem. Still the edge here for Empire with that Aegis. Chappie starts eyeing his way towards an Abyssal. Doesn't have any mobility tool for himself, just the bots, but
Illusion.
looks like he's saying no blink required in this game.
Oh, what? Yoku? He is amped in. Oh, vacuum. That was...
Close one.
That was
That was even a self-hurricane puck. I thought maybe someone else had helped him out, but the stun had just come off, allowing him to give himself a hand.
one of those moments where it's really important that you're facing the correct direction there. They crush onto Bignum now. He is going to take some damage. Oh, the bash! Maposhka getting lucky with it. And now currently, they don't have any TP boots for Sand King, so all this pressure that's being applied, you look, Weaver also doesn't have a TP right now. He's just going to come back. So they will have that one. FN taking the damage,
That's
crush
damage.
onto Yoku. FN almost goes down to that. They drop the wall as well. Afterlife connects. And it looks like they all will back out now. That leap attack speed, though.
Got him. 25 talent. Too good.
Oh, and I love this, too. They have the illusions of Shadow Fiend, so all of these auras being dealt back in towards them, including that AC. That is quite strong. Burrow Strike connecting again onto FN. The follow-up, good imprisonment. King R takes 3 shots to the head, ends up dying to it, but they get the vacuum wall back. Aloha Dance barely able to escape from that one. FN is forced backing away, and they have the Omni Slash. It's down on top of absolutely everybody. Chappie with the bonus attack speed, but he's going to get ran down. Aloha Dance is doing too much damage, running away, and Afterlife, he does have the gem. He spots out Chappie. That's going to be the kill. Aegis now down. Can they find any more? Crush, a little bit premature. They have the Sheep Stick, gonna control Chappie. Still looking to take down Aloha Dance and force backing away. Maposhka is going to die. Aloha Dance just too large in a charge. They don't have any way to deal with them. Trying to grape, trying to run. Gem on the ground, but they don't have it. They will kill off Sand King, so there's 2 gems on the ground now. But Empire, the ones who end up coming out on top.
Yeah, maybe don't want to buy back here from the Shadow Fiend, but possibly necessary. Could try and fight right now while Chappie's BKB still on cooldown.
Top tower is under attack.
I need to be careful with the Aloha Dance. Look at the damage. He might actually kill him. Oh, Gem. It's down. And FN is also going to die. Aloha Dance making mid-speed of his ex-team. Oh, God. That was really close.
I can't believe he just lived there. That was like single digits, it looked like.
Oh, King R, though, is going to be in some trouble now. Aloha Dance with that level 25 talent is just too quick, and he is a huge problem now. How do you deal with this guy?
Well, you don't without a gem, that's for sure. I have to say, playing Weaver lately, that level 25 talent is one of the funnest ones.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Like, look how far he gets in a single Shikuchi. You just can't deal with him, and they don't have that direct lockdown. They don't have a sheep stick. They have arrows, and yeah, if you can get like a disruption into an arrow, or if you can get that crush, then that's it. It really is just coming down to Maposhka.
Soldier's fortune.
Might even have to see a switch up here from Ghost Stick, just maybe realizing that the Shiva's Guard might not be. Yeah, hey, look at that right away. He just switches right to his sight. He's like, okay, hold on, we actually can't handle this.
Honestly, it's, well, Friends striking back this time, not the Empire. So we'll have to see how the next couple of minutes work out.
Invisibility.
You okay there?
Yeah. But I guess this is the best we have now that Rebels became effect.
Oh, Aloha Dance. He's vacuum back. They found him randomly just in the jungle. Oh, no. They saw him farming out the top lane, but knowing that Aloha Dance was going to be going for that bounty rune. Greed is not always good.
Not fast enough. Even the
I'll
level
take
25 talent can't
Radiant's
save him.
middle tower is under attack.
God, this game has been so silly.
It's a good one. Yeah, it went for like we had this many kills in like 20 minutes in the other two games. It felt like.
Oh, FN. He's just taking too much damage. God damn. Good crush, though. Chappie, the follow-up, has the Omni Slash down, kills off one, turns now. Can he get the bat? Not going to happen. He does get it. What? Mapushka first hit. What is even 25%? They take down 3 after they lose the Weaver.
To be fair, that was like a billion hits. He is the juggernaut.
Well, no,
Definitely
it was Mapushka that got the bash. You know, off of his bash in the deep, the first hit from it.
Oh, well, good enough then. I'll take it.
What?
These are some of the weirdest late game fights you'll see. Not exactly that 5-on-5 classic you're looking for, but again, they weren't able to force the Shadow Fiend buyback last time. This time, more than likely, they will, unless they want to give up one set. Hopefully, he's going to go for it. The question is, will Weaver as well? They've already lost the melee. It's like not even worth it at this point.
Well, and the problem is that you also don't have a Sand King for 40 seconds, so Empire feeling sort of comfortable with this. Like, I think that they might end up losing them all. You're going to be able to spin back out again for Chappie, but they're not TPing. King R, he gets the initiation now onto Sand King, and, well, they have some auras. They've got the damage.
Oh, that's a painful buyback on Shadow Fiend.
Oh, lordy.
Gets nothing.
Almost able to kill off No Fear with those illusions as well. Force him back to the well. Well, I guess it is their turn to strike back. My goodness.
Well, that escalated quickly. Suddenly you're down 2 melee racks. You think you have something going for you. Certainly not over at this point. Friends can always march their way down and do the exact same amount of structural damage, but this time there are some defensive options available here. Ghost Stick now having that sight, and if they can manage to catch Aloha Dance here off guard, could be in some trouble, but he does have that Lincoln Sphere, so it's not all said and done here for Ghost Stick. No way for him to deal with that. It's going to come down to a little bit of help from his friends.
I'm also going to say, though, that it feels to me as if the status quo has not changed as far as they don't have a way to deal with Aloha Dance. If he doesn't just run into all of them. Like, that all starts by Aloha Dance getting picked off, who, by the way, is now aggressively, as Dazzle, aggressively pinging that area. I don't know how they necessarily deal with them. Like, they've got to get that sheep up on Ghost Stick. Hey, they have it. All right, they have it. Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is how does he use it?
Right.
It's still a Lincoln Sphere he has to get through, and Amplify's probably your best option for popping it. He might even... Yeah, well, honestly, that's pretty much it. So, still not easy.
Aloha Dance running in deep. They find the crush. What? Aloha Dance backing wall into 3. They get the Omni Slash off as well. He is going to be able to time lapse away from that one. No Fear starting to drop low. He is going to end up dying. They pop the BKB for Aloha Dance, looking for the secondary initiation. They jump forward. Are going to be able to find Bignum. He's going down. Empire, these team fights have been beautiful, and Afterlife not on point either. They are going to be able to find Yoku and still doing a ton of damage. No Requiem this time. Empire, tremendous fight, and now with no Shadow Fiend for 110 seconds, they might have punched their ticket to this second round. Can they hold, though?
Find it finally on Aloha Dance.
Aloha Dance gone, buys back immediately. Afterlife also in trouble. They've got him. Eyes on the prize. Time to take these down, and GG gets called before they can even defend. Oh, baby. Empire. Marching in charge.
Oh, things definitely looking close there, but able to pull it out right at the end from Empire. That one catch on Aloha Dance. That's a hard way to lose a game.
He just ran into him, going for the bounty rune. Like, completely, not randomly because they knew he was up there, but reading his movements quite well.